And welcome, Hollowkeez. Thank you for allowing me to interview you.
Thank you for asking me.
I think I checked out your channel about a month ago, and I really appreciated your quality, and I think you started around the same time I did. And you know, there's a lot of true story channels out there, but I think your quality and the work that you put into your videos, it shows. So I thought, hey, here's a person I would like to introduce to some of my viewers. Let's bring a new face in. So here we are. That's how we got here.
I think that my videos are a bit flawed, but I appreciate a lot that you say that.
Well, you know, everybody and myself in particular, I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I always think they're flawed, like mine are flawed.
Yeah.
So I think it's normal to feel that way to some extent. But yeah, I think you do a good job in narrating them. I think you do a good job at bringing the stories to life. And later on, we'll discuss your latest video. I'm really excited about that because I think that's my favorite one that I've checked out by you.
Really?
You chose some really amazing stories, but like I said, I'll bring that up later before we get into that. Welcome, Tony. Welcome, Kay. And so let's get started with some basic information. What is the origin of your name? I'm really curious because it's obviously not something that's common even in this community. So I'm wondering how you came up with it.
It's actually its origin is Hollowkeez, which is a name I created for a character on a game called Dungeon Fighter Online. If there are any players of that game, you can contact me. It was a soul bender, and I was thinking of a name for the channel, and I just kept coming to that one, and so I just altered it and created Hollowkeez. The Z in the name is it seems kind of cheesy, but any other way to end the name didn't seem right.
Hollowkeez. So you wanted it to be a little bit different from your character name, but not too different. Gotcha. Okay. And what inspired the design of your avatar or your logo? Does that also come from the same game?
No, it's actually a doll that I bought at a haunted house in October.
Oh.
The haunted house is kind of an attraction haunted house as well as kind of rumored to be actually haunted. There were a lot of like custom-made dolls on display, and that one caught my eye. It's very ornate. And
it looks kind of like a clown. Is it a clown?
Yeah, it's like a jester clown type of thing. And its name is Tobias. I decided to name it since it looks so good. And so I decided to take a picture of that and put a filter over it, and that's my avatar.
Oh, I see. So have you had any proof of it being haunted? Has it done anything strange?
No, but secretly I kind of wished it to.
Oh, okay. How long have you had it?
Since October 2016, so some months.
Okay. All right. Maybe it'll come to life one of these days. Do you often go searching for haunted objects, or is that kind of just a one-time thing?
No. I know for sure the place that was selling them is supposed to be haunted. But no, I don't usually go for looking for objects, but I would definitely go check out haunted places.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, those are always interesting to check out. I live in California, and there's a house up in Northern California, Central Coast, I want to say. I forget what it's called. I think it's the Westchester Mystery House. I think that's what it is. Where I've always wanted to go, but there's always that part of me that, you know, wonders, I don't want to come back with some sort of ghost attached to me. Let's see. Okay, so out of the stories you've narrated, which do you think is the most unsettling one?
Actually, it's probably a story in the newest video. It's probably the one with the imaginary friend.
Oh, my favorite story. Okay.
Yeah. Most of the stories I read, I don't really proofread them. I'll skim them maybe to make sure that they're pretty good, and then I'll read through it. So that one definitely unsettled me while recording.
Gotcha. Yeah, that story. Okay, guys, so I highly recommend listening at least to Hollowkeez's latest video because he has a story in there that really freaked me out. It's about a kid and a mystery man, and it's not really a man. Let's put it that way. So anything to do with kids and potentially demons always really gets me. It really freaks me out. So you guys should definitely go check that out. Like I said, it's probably one of the best stories I've heard. But I don't want to go on too much about that and spoil how it develops. So, but yeah, go check it out. What inspired you to what inspired you to start a channel?
I'm not sure really. I decided just one day out of the blue I wanted to make a YouTube channel, but I didn't know what niche I would belong to. I was thinking gaming at one point, and even Pokemon at one point too. So I eventually decided on scary stories because I was already, as most of you have already mentioned, watching them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And since I like scary things anyway, and I felt that I wouldn't be as restrained as the other ideas I had doing this. So plus it was something I could start right away compared to the other ideas. I would need like a game capture card if I was doing gaming, and with a scary stories, you could just jump right in.
Gotcha. I see. Yeah. It has a lot of free reign to be creative, which is one of the things I most appreciate about having a horror channel myself, is that it allows you free reign of your creativity and what you choose to read. So that's also kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
What's been your biggest obstacle on YouTube?
I think every time I make a video, there's an obstacle, which is reading the stories themselves, because unlike a lot of people, I don't edit.
You do it on one try?
I like to avoid that as much as possible. So if I mess up, I start over again.
Wow.
And, yeah. So I have to really strive for perfectionism. I guess it's kind of a weird process. And especially, I think in some videos, you might hear me reading a little bit faster than I should be. And that's probably because I messed up too many times. I'm getting frustrated, and I want to hurry and get through it.
Gotcha. So. Okay. No, I can understand that. What do you use for editing, if you don't mind me asking?
For
editing your audio.
Oh, the audio.
Mm-hmm.
I use Audacity to record, like most everyone, I guess. And
gotcha.
If I need to like alter the voice, I use Adobe Audition.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I mean, I can understand with the frustration part, because I do that sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time, because I'm not lucky enough to the point where I can get an entire story read without messing up. But yeah. I'm sure you have lots of practice.
Yeah, I've gotten a bit better at it. Actually, the reason why because if you notice, my first two videos are like nearly a year old now. And after those two videos were done, I stopped since April. I stopped then, and I got back into it in January because of how irritating it was to read the stories through. But I've gotten a lot better since I started.
I see. Yeah, sometimes we all need a break away to, just kind of relax, I guess, especially if, like you said, you were getting irritated with it. I know. I think that's the reason why I waited to monetize the channel myself, is because I wasn't putting out content that I felt was worthy of monetizing.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand where you're coming from. If you could meet any other narrator in the next 12 months in person, who would it be and why?
Unit 522.
Why is that?
He's the only one of the bigger YouTubers that do this, that I know for a fact after watching his interview is an extremely nice guy. And he does make good content, so there's that too.
Gotcha. Okay. Would you say that, well, previous to watching that interview, do you think that he was a role model to you, or did you have a role model in the community?
I would say all of them were. One in particular is Horror Studio 1. I think his content is pretty good. And gosh, I could just start naming names, but it'd be a long list.
So is it safe to say that it's mostly the bigger narrators that inspired you at this?
Before I started, that's all who I was familiar with. I've never even seen a lot of the smaller ones until I got into this myself.
Yeah, which makes sense, because I think that's the case for most of us. Do you have any thoughts on ever doing a face reveal?
Yes, this is actually kind of a funny thing, because technically I've already had one.
Really?
Yeah, it's not on my channel.
Ah, see, I thought so because I was gonna say I think I've seen all your videos. I didn't see it.
I wish that video kind of wasn't associated with my name, but it kind of is. I'll definitely have a face reveal on my own channel though eventually. I'm not really sure when though. Sometime.
Someday. So no particular milestone, like some people say, oh, when I reach 20,000, when I reach 100K.
Not really. I mean, if I did, I guess before the 5,000 mark. I think that's waiting too long for me personally.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see a lot of people feel that way because they feel that the bigger a channel you are, the more mystery and people come up with all these crazy ideas and things. So being, under 5K or at 5K, most people think it's a good idea.
I've heard the stories with people wanting to conceal their identity, and I don't want that happening to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it also takes a stress on the person once you're a bigger channel and you're still trying to hide yourself,
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you think your channel will be in a year?
Gosh, that's my natural inclination is to be a bit I wouldn't say pessimistic, but more on the realist side. But I let optimism rule in this case, and I have to say that maybe I'll in a year reach 2,000 subscribers and producing a lot better content than I'm currently giving out. So yeah,
I think that's fairly realistic. I don't see why that couldn't happen. It's it's not like you're saying you want 100K by then, which you could, but I think 2K is definitely realistic, especially with the true story genre, which seems to do a lot better than the creepypasta community, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I think it's realistic for you to be at 2K in a year, and I look forward to seeing that happen.
Yeah, me too.
What is your favorite part in the creation process of videos?
The stories. Honestly, that's also the most frustrating part because this recent video, I was surfing around for over an hour just looking for stories to put in the video. But when I actually start reading them, I would say that's the most enjoyable part. The most frustrating part is that will always be the worst part in making a video. To me, anyway.
I'm sorry, you cut off there for a second. What was it that you said?
Which part?
What was the most frustrating?
Finding the pictures for the videos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's pretty frustrating. What about the music? Do you enjoy the music part?
It's not too bad. I get all my music from Yuji. My first two videos were from Peter Helland, though, when I first started. But Muji I like because he doesn't mind if he uses music.
Yeah.
I mean, Peter's the same way, but I prefer Muji's style more. And I have to say looping the music, though, is kind of tedious.
It is. I agree. I have that problem as well. I always want to loop it kind of in the middle instead of letting it kind of fade out and then fade back in.
Yeah.
And we talked about the most unsettling story you've done. What is your favorite story you've narrated?
That's really hard to say, but I can name a group of stories, maybe.
Sure.
Like pretty much anything that's paranormal, I love. So, hence why I have so many videos pertaining to the subject. Gosh, I was looking through my videos earlier and trying to find an answer for this question, and I just couldn't.
I see. So the paranormal subgenre is the one that you love the most. Would you ever consider making videos of you exploring places that are haunted?
Yes, I would jump at the chance at something like that.
So what's holding you back?
Resources. The biggest problem finding some place that's haunted or abandoned around where I live is not exactly, there's not a lot of places around here like that.
Just move to the south. That's what you have to do. They're every corner. Oh my goodness. Have you considered what you'll do when you reach 100K?
No, I have not. Gosh, that's a tricky question for me. I know by then, if I haven't already, but by then I would definitely like to put my own unique stories on my channel. When Unit 522 was speaking in his interview, it gave me an idea that I wanted to offer something unique on my channel too, and that I guess would be my fiction. I have a story published already, and I guess doing something like that would encourage me to write the others.
So what do we get at kind of like a synopsis of what you have written, or would you rather we find out later?
Sure, I'll give you a little short synopsis of the one that's published. It's called Fairy Tale. It's about a boy who likes writing short stories as a hobby, and he finds out that his grandmother in Ireland is terribly sick, like I'd say like heart disease, I think I put in the story. And so him and his parents move over to Ireland for a while to help take care of her and stuff. And eventually he meets a fairy who's able to make his imagination come to life. But it's not, it's a malevolent fairy.
Oh.
So he has to try to find a way to thwart it, I guess you could say. It doesn't sound too interesting. The synopsis probably sounds a little bit generic, but I try to stand out in my stories in one way or another. So.
No, you know, I always commend the writers that have the ability to bring something so fantasy-like to life. I couldn't do that. I mean, I guess I'm just not that creative. I mean, I'm creative in my own way, but I just don't have the patience, I guess you could say, to bring like this entire kind of other world to life. So
it's fun to do. You might surprise yourself. You should try it. All my stories take place in the same world, kind of like, you know, MCU and all that. But I mean, I've had the idea years ago for my stories. And my other concepts are much darker than the one I just gave you. So I can't wait to write those.
I look forward to reading them. I like dark. Hence why I have a horror channel. But yeah, have you had any scary encounters of your own?
All paranormal. I've never had any scary encounters involving like other people. Not that I can think of.
Do you care to share any of your paranormal
ones? Sure. There's one that happened while I was video chatting with a friend. This one stands out because we both kind of experienced something at the same time. Because I was sitting in my room and I heard what sounded like boxes rubbing together, cardboard. And so I turned to look at it in the direction in my closet. And as soon as I reacted by looking, my friend on the other side of the webcam reacted by gasping. And I asked him, why'd you react like that? What? And he's like, he was spooked. And then I was already spooked by the noise. And so I'm even more spooked by how he reacted because he couldn't have heard what I heard. It wasn't loud enough. And so I told him I'd come back after 5 minutes. I needed to take a breather. When I came back, he told me that he saw a big dark figure behind me. So apparently he saw that at the same time I heard the noise, and so that was pretty creepy.
Yeah, I mean, paranormal stuff like that freaks me out. I'm not into dark shadows or all that. I don't know. Shadow people are especially scary to me.
Yeah. In this house where I'm living, it's like, it's not haunted by any means, but every once in a while something happens and it's just weird. You know, I think someone's heard growling once. Another person.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think I've seen a little black thing about the size of maybe a house cat in my garage, but it was really fast and shadowy. I saw it twice, and my best friend who was here at the time, I told him I saw it, and then he didn't believe me, but he ended up seeing it as well when he went to check.
We'll see. I think we have a tendency as humans to kind of write those things off because we try to be logical about everything. But I think strange occurrences like that happen more often than we realize, and we just kind of write them off, or we become so conditioned to just ignore them.
I believe that too.
Yeah. To know. Yeah, I think we're afraid to know that there is actually something out there.
I saw Swamp Diller's comment.
Oh, what did he say? Swamp. Oh, it's because Swamp Dweller is all about those paranormal creatures.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. He's all about the paranormal creatures. So he could probably tell you what you saw. That's what his channel is mostly about, is
okay.
Paranormal creatures. It's great. But yeah, I try not to mess with that stuff. Maybe I purposely ignore it because I don't want to know. I just, you know, shadow people stay over there. You're just a regular shadow. You're
I know
probably
my
just
boundaries personally. I would never like mess with the Ouija board or anything like that, but I would definitely go searching for them, like if a place is already haunted.
so you wouldn't try to communicate with them. You would just see if they actually exist in a particular place.
Well, communicate in a way. I mean, you were communicating, sure, but just not with that way, you know, in that style, you know.
Would that bother you because it has people usually associate that with communicating with demons, or why? What is it particularly about Ouija that makes you not want to use it?
Well, I've been into the paranormal since I was a child, and I've always watched television shows, read books, and browsed the internet. I've never heard a single good story involving Ouija boards or
So true.
in other various forms of divination. So they have a reputation for good reason.
Have you heard of what is the boxes? It's like a spirit box, I think is what it's
Yeah,
called.
I heard of that.
Would you ever use one of those?
No, but then again, maybe that makes me a hypocrite because I have used the Ghost Radar app, which is almost the same thing, in my opinion.
So what does it do? I've never heard of this before.
The app?
Yeah, I've never heard of the app.
Well, you can get it off of like the Google Play Store or anything like that, and you just turn it on, and words at random appear, and you'll have a voice saying the word out loud, and it's supposed to be the spirit manipulating what it's saying. But a lot of the time, the words are very random and make no sense. But sometimes people can have like really relevant words pop up. Actually, I was going to read one story and put it in the most recent video about that very thing, and it was a really cool story, but it was way too short, and so I didn't read it.
Oh, yeah, some of the stories out there have really good premises, but then not enough meat.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I'd like to hear, though. If you find something, you know, I look forward to hearing a story like that.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the community right now, as far as paranormal, focuses on mostly the not shadow, the night terrors and things like that. But you know, I appreciate stories like the demon story that you read for the last video.
I'd love to go ghost hunting with Holy Creep Sauce. That'd be really fun.
Holy creep sauce. Oh, someone say something on the chat. Let me see. Oh, I see. Okay, I've been a ghost hunter. Maybe you guys should, yeah, you guys should go ghost hunting and then record it for us. That would be really amazing, actually.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, so if you guys do that, let us know. I will advertise it here to no end. Have you had any crazy fan occurrences? Because I don't think size should matter for that, really. I think
probably not, but no. I've only really been at this since the beginning of January, so not enough time has passed, I don't think.
To get the crazies.
That'd be cool if it did happen, though.
You think it would be cool if you had a stalker from this?
Well, maybe not. Like if it was like a dangerous stalker, then no. But like, I mean, I'm not really easily scared or frightened by things, so yeah, to a certain point, it'd be pretty cool.
It would be flattering, I guess, to some extent, as long as it doesn't get extremely creepy or invasive.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, did you have any questions for Hollowkeez that you wanted to ask him? Let me see. Has anybody asked anything yet? Sorry for the silence here, guys. I am looking at the chat, making sure I didn't miss anything.
No, I do not believe in Santa Claus. Never have, actually. My mother didn't raise us to do that, to believe in him, whatever.
Okay, then, guys, I guess this concludes the interview portion of the stream.